Today, Prime Minister Manele launches the Deva Rural Health Clinic in Isabel province. Opposition leader Matthew Wale questions mining sector, pricing and budget allocations. A brave appeal by a student from the Special Development Learning Centre leads to swift government action. And coming up in sports, the Solomon Islands national senior men's football team opens its MSG Prime Ministers Cup campaign against Papua New Guinea Gold. Hello and welcome. I'm Lisa Aussie Fellow. Prime Minister Manele today joined national and provincial leaders in Deva, Isabel province for the soft launch of the new Deva Rural Health Clinic. The clinic marks a major milestone for Deva and Varagia communities, bringing essential health services closer to home and raising the total number of health facilities in Isabel to 35. Manele said the clinic reflects the government's commitment to improving rural healthcare and urged communities to support the facility's operations once it's open.
Promoting good health is a shared responsibility. Individuals, families and communities have the primary responsibility to ensure there is clean water, food, shelter, proper hygiene and sanitary practices to prevent the emergence of diseases or the sick. The government has that broader role in creating the enabling environment, including the delivery of basic health services. Health facilities are important as they are wellness hubs, where health professionals diagnose and treat people with diseases, and where community-based activities are coordinated and launched.
Located beside Deva Primary School, the clinic will also serve students and nearby residents once final preparations are complete. David Hiba Hiriasia has been sworn in as the new Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change, Disaster Management and Meteorology. The ceremony was conducted by Acting Governor-General Patson Oti at the Government House. Hiriasia, a meteorologist and climate scientist, previously served as Director of the Solomon Islands Meteorological Service. He replaces Dr. Chris Vehe, who served as Acting Permanent Secretary during the transition. Member of the Public Accounts Committee and Opposition Leader Matthew Wale has questioned the pricing and budget allocations for the mining sector, saying they do not reflect government statements that the industry will be the country's next major economic driver. He also expressed disappointment with the Central Bank of Solomon Islands for its handling of related issues. In response, Central Bank Governor Luke Forau said the bank closely monitors minerals prices, including gold, on a daily basis. He noted that responsibility for price matters lies primarily within the Ministry of Mines.
You are right in that. In fact, we do monitor the mineral prices. We have daily monitoring of the daily mineral prices, including gold, of course. From our side, in my view, I think the ministry responsible for the mines should be the ones, because the prices, they said, like you mentioned, there's no one for ascertaining what is actually in those soils or something. I think the ministry responsible should be on the ground to ensure that whatever exported, actually the volume and the exact and the estimated price of that, and they inform us that this is how much should be exported, and this is the estimated price that, and then of course we will take upon that one.
Dr. Forau added that the mining sector remains a concern moving forward, citing lessons from the country's past experiences with the logging industry.
Not to step him over Job Narawan, but we will definitely select the steps that we take in here. And like you said, I'm very concerned that this sector, if we don't do it right, why you may worse. This one, and it's a resource that will never be renewed. Once I'm gone forever. No? And the only place that by me looking now, the pit or that something, and when about people go back for stay on there. And I'm very
on the
concerned.
matter of pricing.
A shift for rural community education. South Guadalcanal constituency will launch the Solomon Islands' first distant flexible learning program in partnership with the Solomon Islands National University. The initiative aims to boost human resource development through accessible online learning in remote areas like Chapuruya Community High School, Laloato Community High School and Variamo Subcenter. The DFL program will officially launch in March 2026, bringing digital education directly to South Guadalcanal communities.
So we will come up with him the idea, and we will talk with him Sinu about him now, set him up this DFL, and what agree. So we already signed that agreement in March. So now what actually happened, we will set him up center, lo constituency na so that we will start for classes when we start up by next year on March. And today, we will come over lo constituency, lo South Guadalcanal. Sinu hemi taken that initiative for come to him now, awareness and consultation. Lo people there, for explaining lo people what na whole idea, the process, about the pikinini or to go through, stay in lo home, yeah. Then what to do him study block eta, and what sabi taken now, what paper what like him, yeah. Rather than we will struggle to go through Lohonyara.
This historic partnership marks a new era of inclusive technology-driven learning in Solomon Islands. Easier access to education online in South Guadalcanal.
We like to take an opportunity for thank him to Solomon Tower for set him up now. Calls up I think for tower. In fact, him 4G. Where we give him now connection here, where what the picking sabi go access him now, data or something the same, then what to go online for doing program blockata. And not only that, my constituency we are planning for setting up a standby Starlink here, where what the sabi using for access lot school here, what the Starlink where by direct satellite or something the same here, then what sabi access him now for doing study blockata through online, yeah? So that one yeah, we within law constituency we planning na yeah, by we set him up.
Remittances from Solomon Islands seasonal workers in Australia and New Zealand have fallen by 21%, dropping to 289 million as of September 2025, compared to the same period last year. Now, the decline was discussed during the Public Accounts Committee hearing on the 2026 Appropriation Bill, where the opposition leader Matthew Wale questioned Central Bank Governor Dr. Luke Forau about the reduction. Dr. Forau attributed the drop to the completion of contracts under the Pacific Australia Labour Mobility Scheme, noting that many workers on 2 to 4 years contracts have now returned home. He said new recruits have joined the program, but their numbers have not yet offset those who left.
Remittances up to September, we recorded a total of $289 million. And this mainly for the ones that we have with PAM scheme and the RAC scheme with New Zealand. And thank you to Australia and New Zealand for providing that window.
Wale noted that with about 10,000 Solomon Islanders currently employed under the scheme, remittances could have been expected to exceed 500 million this year. Remittances reached a record of 434 million in 2024, the highest on record.
Low 21% lower than the same period last year. The reason being, one of the reason being that most of the palm workers would go at the 2 to 4 years contract, and most of those contracts end last year. So most of them would come back. Some follow new ones go. So drop reflecting. So those ones, their contract lapsed last year, would come back.
The Lowy Institute today, Thursday, launched the Pacific Aid Map 2025 Key Findings Report, revealing that aid to Pacific Island countries have fallen to pre-pandemic levels due to a sharp decline in lending. The report highlights that Australia has maintained its aid levels despite reductions from other Western donors, while China's aid model has become more sophisticated with record grant funding and expanded grassroots projects. It also notes rising investment in infrastructure as support for health and education declines. Riley Duke Lowy, Institute Research Fellow, said that the findings are significant for Solomon Islands, where aid support continues to play a key development role.
So Solomons is actually quite unique in the Pacific in that while a lot of countries saw a huge uplift in support through the pandemic, because of very strict border closures and the nature of who the key development partners are, it meant that the Solomons saw actually a fall in support in 2020, and it's rebounded since then, but it's been very flat. But the new thing for the Solomons is that it's taking on a lot more loans. And so on the horizon, the Solomons is going to see a lot more money coming in the form of loans. And that's both from multilateral partners, but then also for China. So Australia is the biggest development partner in the Solomons. It provides about 110 million US in 2023. The next largest was China, but a third of what China does is in the form of loans. And so that's sort of the news story, is that debt problems are, debt is not an issue yet in the Solomons, but as more loans come in, the government's going to have to be a lot more cautious about what kind of projects it takes debt on for. So those were the main findings that we had for Solomons.
Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of National Planning and Development Coordination, Brian Lange, who attended the launch, said the report will serve as an important tool for Solomon Islands in monitoring and managing aid flows.
In a way that reconfirming sample data Yumigaran Peninsula country, also donor support, also recent review of national development strategy and shown that about 60% low development budget and financed by donors for the past 10 years. So I'm showing that one too. I think thirdly is that what you may look in this time is decline, global decline of donor partner support, especially decline of US government support, New Zealand, UK, but Australia is still maintaining support there. And you may look into the increase in concessional financing arrangements where countries, the region have started taking loans, concessional loans for supporting our development needs, especially cyber infrastructure. And I think the Solomon Islands into the trend where government this time may go towards looking at taking additional concessional loans for the big infrastructure project where countries and think for come up with them, especially the project was in Bina Haba, big projects, plus all the roads blaming too, radio motor roads blaming, targeting lot airports across the country. So I think the trend, country blaming and this time and go quite a lot of color trend to take loans for the infrastructure development.
The launch event was attended by representatives from government agencies, the Australian High Commission, the Japanese Embassy, the People's Republic of China, and other stakeholders. Now, a brave call for help during the World Children's Day celebrations for the Special Development Learning Centre has touched the hearts of many. This call out from a brave young boy, Francis, has been heard loud and clear.
and security. Mifala fence plompa hem ben bayu salu kalau side le hem karang hole big white one nagu tena kastil so mi ask me for repairing no and drainage time heavy rain too much bam sa make a big flood them sa flood in classrooms, hallways, kitchen, bathroom. So bam take a lot of people for help me fa out in not water and rubbish yeah. So I think mas 2 or 3 days bam sa come back to school so me ask you for repairing na drainage bam fa.
On Monday this week, a call for help seeking assistance, and the message was very clear. 2 days later, the Ministry of Infrastructure Development went on site for the inspection of building facilities, surroundings, and to get detailed assessments, responding to long outstanding challenges that has never been addressed, a learning space for children that needed attention.
If I come as usual, if I come doing my detailed assessment, every facilities, building facilities, here, including the drainage system and other issues as per where I got the issues where I'm ongoing here. So we do a detailed assessment of the for the building along. We see what are the actual spaces, the spatial arrangement of its buildings. We see the maintenance need look at each building. So we follow doing a little bit measurement, pull measures, and doing notings, every building facilities and also the surrounding. Look at the drainage, the main drain along the road, and also fence blockada and also look at the small drains within the vicinity. Like the problem where happened here, in terms of water, you may say, flooding. And this is more important for you, must presume. For example, water picking here, they are more, their need is, or their status is picking with them disability, and they are prone to that disaster, or they themselves are not able for cater for their safety during times of disaster or semi. So having seen the place, it's a need, by me say. It's really a need to, we must do something for Katalo here. Not only the issue of drain, but also some of the buildings here run down a little bit, needing touch-up maintenance, and also other things more, other building facilities or requirements as per needed too. Probably, Okata might guarantee, but then probably it's a need for me. I must look into that area of need.
Drainage, security fencing, and resources were some of the main issues that needed urgent attention. Advocating and a call out for help was timely, and responding to the call for the school is welcoming news.
I think it's a good and as a proactive way of responding to issues where school blow. You mean where picking in below you mean what in special needs, what a try for expression. I think so many times what picking in here they've been left unheard. Lot experiences located. So this morning me looking stack officers come and me happy what I come looking. Me no shame or me no got him any challenge to what I come for me hide them anything. I think all the things where the picking in here been advocating the children's forum. They are true things that Okata experience in the school and him need him collaborative effort everyone. Even the teachers, administration, even education provider, even the government, even parents, and even the different ministries where we got them. I think we need to all work together for meet him now. What I need to what picking playing with special needs. So I'm happy that what I come.
Transportation was also part of the school's needs.
Mifalalo special development center. Mifa overcrowded too much and staka students. So kami fagolo one for bus for students stay no man. So me ask if I think of a big bus for you. Sorry, if I think of a big bus for some students, so go inside them and no go to bus stop.
Come for today, follow request by Minister Noma for Land Transport Management Service Division for come check him transportation blotter of student. So what we have find him out is bus blotter have currently sit down now. So as Minister him talem come, but me for providing one for bus water probably next year. have not for come give him assurance or principle. So have not currently what me for come doing, and then me for observe him too that this all base him sit down now. So bang for assist him for service him and make him run while waiting for me for buy a new bus.
The Special Development Learning Centre is being assured of a new school bus by next year.
Thank you, Lo, Minister, Lo, Infrastructure. I think him too, from his response, I think him na group here come. I think it's good that you may hear him what the voices about the beginning blow you me. Not only what the beginning about in special needs, but everyone. I think so many times you may claim him that what the beginning future, but in fact, you may not think hear him but it's so today me very happy. MID lo here. I think it's a first time ever since my 15 years work lo here. MID come and do things the same in response to government decision for Kota come. Me very happy. Yeah. So thank you too much for Minister and every officers who come.
The Special Development Learning Centre is a school for children with special needs. These centres provide specialised education, including academic, life skills and livelihood programs for students with disabilities who might otherwise be excluded from the education system. The Special Development Learning Centre in Honiara is the only one of its kind in the country. Isolation, limited support and poor resourcing are amongst the challenges faced by students with disability in getting an education. And moving on now to regional news, the Cook Islands will extend seabed minerals exploration by 5 years, delaying a decision on deep-sea mining until at least 2032. Now, the Seabed Minerals Authority says current licenses issued in 2022 will be eligible for renewal as companies continue their research. Environmental groups, societies support the delay, but is calling for at least a decade more of seabed research before any mining begins. The nation's seafloor holds an estimated 6.7 billion tonnes of metal-rich polymetallic nodules. The New Zealand Defence Force is on standby to assist Pacific nations during the Southwest Pacific cyclone season. Its ships, aircraft and land forces are ready for deployment, while 2 personnel have joined the Brisbane-based Pacific Response Group to coordinate disaster response. Now, the NZDF has previously supported relief efforts for cyclones Pam, Winston and the 2022 Tonga volcano disaster. Welcome back. Now in sports, Solomon Islands senior men's football team's first match of the MSG Prime Ministers Cup against the champions Papua New Guinea Gold. Solomon Islands goes down to the reigning champions Papua New Guinea 1-0.
Palapo, right-footed swinger! Palapo!
Solomon Islands made sure to keep the home side at bay with a 0-0 at the halftime mark. Coming back from a tie at the break, the momentum shifted when Papua New Guinea made it clear that they are the team to beat in the tournament and start strong to defend their title. Solomon Islands side anticipated a good start to the competition, but with a first loss, Solomon Islands will now have to reset for their next match. And that concludes our Tavuli News Bulletin. Be reminded of the heavy rain from time to time, and we are also in the cyclone season. Always take extra precautions. Watch out for power lines and remember to boil all drinking water. Outlook for Friday, broken intervals with occasional rain and thunderstorms in the afternoon as well. I'm Lisa Osifello. Thanks for watching.